Hello Elucidat users and welcome to this Level 1 video. This collection of videos is all about how to get started in Elucidat, so it's perfect if you're new to the tool. And in this video we're going to focus on how to plan your project, so that all-important phase before you actually start building in the tool, where you can focus on what it is you're trying to achieve and brainstorm ideas for how that might come to life on the screen. So to help you with that, we're first going to look at the showcase page on our website, which should give you some inspiration for the types of projects that you can create in Elucidat. So as you can see here, if I just quickly scroll down the page, this is full of lots of different examples of short e-learning projects, all of which have been created in Elucidat, either by our team internally to give you inspiration, or by our clients who have given us permission to share them. And you'll probably have noticed just from scrolling down that page quickly how different each of these projects look to each other. And I'm going to jump into a couple of them to show you that it's the experiences as well that are very different. And this should demonstrate to you that every time that you are faced with a new set of project requirements and a new audience to reach, there are infinite possibilities for what you can design in order to meet those needs. So in this example I've pulled up here, you can see we've got short pages that deliver punchy bits of information, sort of one key learning point at a time. You can use these buttons to navigate from page to page, and on each page there's a different interaction that really helps to structure my content and break it down into small, manageable chunks. This is quite different to another project if I jump into here, which has a very different style of navigation and way of presenting content. So at first glance it looks very similar. We've got a sort of title area with one key point, but to navigate with this one, instead of using buttons to move from slide to slide, I actually scroll in much more of a web style experience. And you can see here the focus is really on how we've laid the content out on one long page, rather than how we've broken it up into different interactions across pages. So this gives a very different feel and suits very different types of content. Here we're using it to tell a story and invite learners to interact with it. A third example that I'll show you is a much more kind of active and reflective example. So it's all about delegation. When I open it up here, you'll see that first I'm asked to enter my name, which I did earlier. And when I've done that, rather than being presented with information as I was in the previous two projects that we looked at, here I'm straight away being asked questions. And these questions will actually personalise the content that I see later. Now, the answers that I submitted just earlier today have still been saved here. You can see there are two multiple choice questions and a free text box here for me to talk about my own challenges. When I've answered these questions, I'm taken to a page where I'm given a personal action plan that is specific to me based on the information that I gave Elucidat on the previous screen. So this takes a very different approach. Rather than sharing information up front, we're eliciting information from our users and then using that to give them a personalised experience. As well as those three examples that we've looked at, you can also come to this showcase page to have a look at things like gamified scenarios, personalised assessments, and lots more on here. There's a filter you can use to have a look at examples that suit the kind of thing you're after. So the question then becomes, with so many options available to us about things we can create with Elucidat, how do we know which approach is going to be best for our project? And we have a design framework that we've designed to help you answer that question. We call it the 5 C's, and you can see those 5 C's here on the image on the right-hand side, starting with capture, which is all about making sure you're clear on your requirements. So that's things like the goals of your project, your success criteria, and your audience. So making sure you've really captured what it is that you're trying to achieve with who. Second, it's then on to coming up with a concept for your project. So what type of structure, what type of experience, what type of feel is really going to help you achieve the goals that you established in the capture section. And we really recommend that you take the time as a team to work through these first two stages before you actually move on to the third stage and create your project in Elucidat. And we have some handy tools and templates that you can download from here to help you with this. So if you're new to this kind of needs capture process, for example, you can use our capture guide. And this is an interactive guide that poses questions that are designed to get you and your team thinking about exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. So you'll be prompted, for example, to describe the purpose of your digital learning project, to think about what success looks like, and to think about the role that your digital learning is going to play in the bigger picture of other interventions you might have going on. We also have an audience profile template here for you to fill out to help you really understand who you're designing for and thinking about whether things need to be personalised. Those are just a few of the pages here. But what we're really trying to do with these practical guides is help you think through exactly what it is you're trying to achieve, so that then when you come on to coming up with different ideas in the conceptualised stage, you know who you're designing for, and it will help you determine which ideas might be stronger than others. So do feel free to download both of these planning templates from the page in front of you. So 3 top tips for you to take away when you're planning your next project. The first is that we recommend you find an hour to capture your project requirements, ideally as a team with all the stakeholders and subject matter experts that might be involved to make sure everyone's on the same page. Second, we'd suggest that you use the showcase page for inspiration. So you can look at lots of different ideas there and then test out how those ideas might work for you on paper first before you go into Elucidat and start building them. And finally, we want you to know that expert guidance is available from our professional services team at Elucidat if you would like it. So we can help you build prototypes of your projects or give you second opinions on your design ideas if that would be useful to help give you confidence in the concept of your project. So do reach out to us via the support channel if you'd like to talk to us about those services. So hopefully that's some useful tips for you to plan your first project. And in the next project, we're going to be looking at how to actually create your project in Elucidat once you've got your plan determined. Look forward to seeing you then.